Hi, Gavin. Thank
Hi.
you very much for joining us today. Today, I'd like to talk about people and them being our unique selling point. I'd like to focus a bit more on the training and developing and supporting our staff. But would you like to start with introducing yourself, please?
Yes, so I'm Gavin Howarth, CEO of Howarths. So we're a HR, employment law, health and safety consultancy based just down the road in Clackheaton.
Great. So the first thing I'd like to start with is, why is it important to have the right people in your team?
I mean, there's so many reasons why it's important. I mean, I fundamentally believe that it's the people that make a business. And I'll say often, it doesn't matter how fancy your website, how shiny your office is, or fancy your CNC machine is in a manufacturing environment. It's the people that make a business.
Yeah. I mean, our clients come to us specifically for our knowledge and the staff rather than a product that we sell. So it's important that we invest in our people and we make sure that they have the right knowledge and expertise to fulfill the needs of a client.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in a more technological, AI-driven world, the personal relationships and people element becomes more important as we crave the connection.
Definitely. Yeah. And it's not always just about what people do. It's often about how they go about things. And I think that's important, investing in the right person, which actually sort of brings me around to a bit of recruitment and retention. Yeah. What do you think is the new processes and way to go about that nowadays?
I think the most important point on recruitment is a values fit. Mm-hmm. And I think any employer has to be crystal clear of who they are and what they stand for, and project that out into the market. And if you have a strong set of values, that should disqualify some people and attract others. And I think capability is one thing, your ability to do the job technically. Mm-hmm. But for the relationship to be most successful, including how long that team member stays with the business, it's the values fit that most counts.
Yeah. Can become quite a lengthy process when you recruit, then, isn't it? Because when we recruit, often we don't just settle for the only option. We wait until we find the right option.
Yeah.
So it can become quite timely. How do you find that?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's an old adage, isn't it? Which is almost a cliche now, but is recruit slow, dismiss fast if it doesn't work for both parties. But the recruiting slow, I think, is the right thing to do because it's not just about your ability to do the job. Mm-hmm. It's very much a values and cultural fit if you want longevity.
Well, I found nowadays it's more about, it's not just finding the right person and trying to convince them to join. It's almost you as a company need to sell yourself back to them, because it's now a two-way street. It's not just getting the right person in to do the job. It has to be a fit that's right for both, isn't it? They have to like us as much as we like them nowadays.
100%. I think utopia for a business is top line revenue, bottom line profit, return to shareholders, yes. So not getting away from the fact that we're a commercial organisation. And though, a great place to work with a queue of people outside the door wanting to work there. So to achieve that though, and for there to be a queue of the people outside the door wanting to work there, it has to be something worth coming to, doesn't it? And the culture has to be strong. The team ethics has to be strong. The engagement levels has to be high. And then your reputation, it extends beyond the building and people want to come.
And then what about retention then? So we've got them in the building, in essence.
Yeah.
What do you think are the key points for retention then?
Well, I think, McKinsey studies have showed over the last couple of years that particularly flexibility is very important. That's a post-COVID thing, isn't it, of people wanting flexibility. Yeah. And I think we're in the first time where we have 5 generations in the workplace and upcoming generations want something different. So I think employers have to be on their toes about that. But I think pay, yes, of course, is important. But I think wider than that, wider benefits, flexibility.
Nice.
I also think on a deeper level, the why is important. What is the point of my job? And what is the point of the department I work for?
Exactly.
And what is the point of the business? I think people want to work for someone, for something, let me say, a business that is doing something meaningful.
Yeah. It's almost what we do in our KPIs. We set a structure or a plan of what we want you to do, and then we allow you to fulfill that in your best way that you know how. So we don't try and be too descriptive, but this is the plan that we want to follow, the collective goal, the business plan. And that sort of helps a culture to drive to the same goal in essence.
Yes.
When we look at people and retention, it's about what matters to the individual rather than this blanket approach, oh, we offer X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
What's important to the individual coming through the door. And that sort of changed over the years, especially post-COVID. As you say, the new generation coming in. It's about making it a bit more unique and a bit more fit per person rather than this is the one approach we have, take it or lose it kind of old-fashioned way.
Yeah,
as you would
100%.
say.
Well, we've worked together for a number of years, haven't we? And I know as a business, STRI, you take this very seriously and you care a lot about the culture and wanting to build a high-performance culture, which is a win-win for both parties. For the business, yes, but also for the individual, which I think, and I would say this, is the right thing to do. Because I think in 2026 and beyond, it's the businesses that have HR sat at the top table and are people-centric that win. Because you're right, people are more discerning about who they work for. And we all want the best talent in the business and for that best talent to stay. So we have to adapt accordingly, and you guys are great
And
at
it's
that.
definitely evolved from a, like you said, transactional employment to more of a reputation, a satisfaction, and we find that happy people gives us happy clients. If our staff is happy, if they enjoy what they're doing, they love what they're doing, you see that reflected back into the clients, you see that in our projects being delivered, and that's a win-win for both.
Yes.
You have staff that's happy, the company then prospers, and that's sort of how we try and approach it. It's not just the one-way street anymore. It's definitely what works for one should work for the other. If there's a give and take on both ends now.
100%. And I think all the best deals are win-win, you know, and I think that's the same with the business and the individual is you can both win. So, and I think that's a concept people are more and more open to and understanding is that yes, the business can make money, but that doesn't have to be at the detriment of the individual. It's a win-win. So the individual thrives, their financial situation goes up, they enjoy work, and the business does well commercially. That's the right way to go, I think.
So what do you think is the value in investing in staff nowadays? Is there any worth in that? What's your thoughts on sort of the broader approach for this?
Yes, 100%. I think learning and development, investing in people is a massive underrated opportunity for businesses. You know, the UK has generally got a productivity problem. It's quite well documented that there's a productivity problem. There was a report a couple of years ago I read which suggested that out of the top G7 nations, the UK was 6th, which is something for us to deal with, and you hear the government talk about it a lot. Now, 3 of the 5 suggested resolutions to increasing productivity was around people. People management, increasing management skills, investing in people, and we don't do enough of it. And again, I think the businesses that succeed, like you guys, evidenced in your culture and how you operate, are the ones that invest in people, in training, in learning and development. And that isn't always taking the next rung on the ladder of seniority and pay. Your role can also go this way, can't it, with new experience over here and new skills learned over here.
Exactly. We found making little changes, small steps. We're an employee ownership trust. We have an employee council. It sort of creates a sharing strategy that, yes, we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear the ideas and suggestions. Sort of opens that communication to make everyone feel valued in the company. And I think it's doing the small things that has the big impact. We have small things like weekly newsletters, an intranet that allows even the smallest news, from team news to social news, and that really helps bring everyone together and make them feel part of a team and make them feel valued. Again, it's not just input versus output nowadays. We want the value out of the staff as well. So working on things like that, along with the management training, as you've mentioned, we're looking into developing our leaders. We have an STRI Academy, so it's an intranet that we have, where, as you know, we've got loads of experts in niche fields in our company. We do loads of different sort of aspects of turf, developing research, things like that. So everyone's quite knowledgeable in their field. And by having little academy sessions, we give the chance for people to share their knowledge, as well as letting the new generation come in and
Yes.
themselves become experts. So it's doing these little things that I feel will bring better value and focus more on our people within the company. So we're not just a product. We're not a product that we're trying to sell.
Yeah.
We are promoting our people. And our clients will see that. They'll see the difference compared to our competitors, that yes, we try and be a little bit different because we care and we value and we invest in people.
Yes, 100%. And over the time we've worked together, you can visibly see that in the business, and it makes a difference. I personally like Daniel Pink's model, which we've talked about before, autonomy, mastery and purpose. And
Yes.
quite a lot of what you said there touches on some of those elements of what fundamentally motivates and engages people at work. A sense of autonomy, a sense of mastery, which is learning and development and academy, and particularly in a technical business like yours. And then the purpose as well. What is the point of this job you're asking me to do? What's the point of the department? What's the point of this business? People need to know the why.
Exactly.
And I think the focus you've put on that and in the investment is paying off commercially. And that's the thing. I think HR often gets a bad rep, doesn't it? Of,
It does.
being fluffy, always telling us what we can't do. And we've spoken about it before, this reference to soft skills, which
Yes.
I'd love to rebrand power skills.
Yes.
Particularly in an AI world.
Yes.
But actually, it's not about that, is it? It's about productivity.
It is.
That's what HR is about. It's about productivity, and you get that through increased engagement. So all the initiatives that STRI are implementing are designed to increase engagement levels so people feel more emotionally connected to the business they work with and for, and productivity therefore goes up.
Exactly.
And it's a win-win.
So even when you were just talking about soft skills, we call ours life skills. So in our academy, we're introducing life skills. And when we say we want to share the knowledge, it's not just expertise knowledge or the niche knowledge that we have.
Yeah.
It's about the legislative changes, life skills. So we're trying to introduce all of that. So it's almost like when you come to STRI, there is more than just one option to look at. You can definitely get more expert knowledge, but we're also trying to look at the leader, the manager, how to have those difficult conversations, how to approach a certain subject, so that people feel empowered in their role. Nothing worse than being in a managerial role and you don't sort of know how to be a manager in it. So we are trying to empowering our staff, making them feel valued, making them feel empowered in order to make the changes or take that bold leap of trying something new.
Yes. We're in a technical industry as well. So, employment lawyers, for example, your technicians as well, civil engineers, whatever you've all got the same challenge in a way of technical ability.
Yeah.
But long gone are the days where the technical ability is just enough on its own. And the expectations from clients that we work with, rightly so, and people who join the businesses, yes, the technical element is one bit, but that we can add more value than that.
Exactly.
And especially in an AI world, because one day the robots might be able to do some of this.
Hopefully not.
So, the soft skills, if you like, or let's call them power skills, life skills, emotional intelligence, the ability to influence and persuade, leadership, empathy.
Exactly.
These are the skills that make
Even
a
the
difference.
reputation.
Yeah.
Can't replace reputation with a robot. And that's what we want to bring. We want pride people who have proud of what they do. They enjoy their work. That's what you want to bring. You want to have people happy.
Yes.
And you see that in your return back to the company.
100%. And I think back to the point of recruitment, when you build a high-performance culture with an engaged workforce, they then go tell other people, who do you work for? I work for STRI, it's brilliant.
Yes.
And your job's going.
Yeah.
And then what the team essentially do is recommend people to the business, but they're vetting them already, because they wouldn't recommend if they didn't think they were a fit. And you then start to recruit and attract people.
Exactly.
And the queue forms outside the door.
Yeah. And having that knowledge share within the company itself, within the different companies, the teams. If you hear something from a client, oh, I know our department also can help you with that. Yes. Our other company covers this for you. So it's as long as we're collective, that then sort of transpires when you go to the client, when you see them. And that's the dream, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, and there's one thing sort of trying to mandate that in a process. And it's another thing altogether, the individual wanting to do that because they're engaged and they love the business. And they love working
proud of where they're working. And you can see it when someone sees a client when they are happy where they are.
Yeah.
And that sort of, shows in the work as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm glad we had a chance to talk about people. They are the most important asset of our business. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.